San Francisco 49ers really should be an easy team to grade. I feel like most people have agreed that they are one of the worst teams in the league. Even if at 5 wins, they don't show as the worst team in the league. They had a new head coach. They had a quarterback who had a lot of struggles the previous season and continued to have even more struggles, and now is probably gone. They're going in a completely different direction with a guy like Chip Kelly this coming season, as opposed to when we had Harbaugh era. Yeah, they're really kind of a mystery team. There's a lot of questions about them. They started off the season doing amazing things. I couldn't have loved these 49ers more than I did week 1 when they just wiped the floor with the Vikings. The Vikings couldn't do anything. But after that, it was all pretty mediocre. There was nothing good about this team, really. Everything was right in the middle of the pack, except for one very important stat. And that's the amount of points that they scored. This team scored the least points in the entire NFL. And when you can't score points, you can't win games. Some teams would argue, yeah, but we have a good defense. But the 49ers defense isn't what it used to be. It is not the great defense that we saw before with Vic Fangio. That is done. They are in pretty much a complete rebuild mode. Yeah, 5 wins was pretty good and actually more than you would expect, more than a guy like Ricky Widmer would expect here on the Most Valuable Podcast, but quite a bit more, 4 games more. But, beating a team like the Falcons, the Vikings game really looked kind of like a fluke and maybe a little bit like the Vikings just couldn't perform. They only scored 3 points. It's kind of sad, kind of pathetic. They beat the Ravens. If you watch my Browns video, you know how I feel about the Ravens. They beat the Chicago Bears. I don't give any credit to that either because the Chicago Bears, that's a team that needs to get some things answered. And they beat a team that got kicked. Well, they didn't get kicked out of their city. They packed up and left and moved to LA. Nothing that really gets me too excited. They got a lot to rebuild. I kind of struggle at what kind of grade I can give them. I don't want to give them like a D, but I don't want to give them a C either. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a D+. Not a C-, a D+. Specifically the D+. 5 wins isn't enough. You don't know who your quarterback's going to be. He didn't do anything very well. I mean, Blaine Gabbert was starting for a little bit. Why is Blaine Gabbert ever starting in the NFL? That's a problem. This team, they got to get some things straight. They got to reaffirm their identity. And I'm sorry. I know this is a seasonal grade, but when I'm looking to the future, Chip Kelly here, I'm not excited about it. I really am not. Sorry, 49ers fans. You guys might disagree. Let me know down below if you think Chip Kelly is going to be a good thing, but things fell apart this season. And this season was just the 49ers learning we have made mistakes, and we are paying for them now.